Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jemmy and I, exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML, a managed service provider in Queens, NY, offering network management, voice over IP, unified communications as a service, cybersecurity, compliance, infrastructure as a service, cloud solutions, and Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions. If you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this episode is for you.
Yeah, and today we're looking at something that, honestly, most people probably don't even know they have. Imagine finding out that the most powerful AI tool your company possesses isn't some pricey $20 a month subscription.
Right.
It's actually hiding right inside the software you used to draw like wobbly stick figures in the 90s.
That is the perfect way to frame this. Reading through Len Kaplan's breakdown, I just kept thinking of this specific scenario. So imagine you've been driving the same reliable, slightly boring commuter car to the office for years.
Sure, it gets you from A to B.
Exactly. But then, one random Tuesday, you look down near the cup holder and realize there's a hidden sport mode button you just never noticed before.
Oh, wow.
Right. It's been sitting there the whole time. You didn't have to go to the dealership. You didn't have to buy an upgrade package. It's just right there, waiting to be pressed.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks. And today we are doing a deep dive into a fascinating new article that uncovers exactly that kind of hidden button. The exact title of the post we're exploring is Free AI Image Creation Built into Windows 11, Testing Paint Cocreator versus DALL and Gemini.
The vehicle in your analogy, of course, being Microsoft Paint.
Good old Paint.
Yeah, good old Paint. And our mission for you today is highly practical. We want to help you figure out if this hidden sport mode is, actually worth using for your business.
Because that's the real question, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're managing an IT stack, you need to know if this free built-in tool can actively power your workflows, or if you still need to rely on paid third-party AI platforms.
So let's pop the hood on this. Microsoft Paint in Windows 11 has quietly gotten this massive, under-the-radar upgrade. It now includes a feature called Cocreator.
Which is wild to think about.
I know. It's a fully functional AI image generator built directly into the application. And what really blew my mind reading Len's walkthrough wasn't just that the AI is there, but the total lack of friction to use it.
Yeah, the absence of friction is arguably its most disruptive feature. Because, think about a typical corporate environment. Adopting a new AI tool is usually a nightmare of administrative hurdles.
Oh, no, totally.
You have to evaluate the vendor, navigate to a web portal, provision user accounts, manage API keys.
And get the budget approved.
Right, get budgetary approval. But with Cocreator, if you're on a supported Windows 11 machine, you literally just follow 5 simple steps.
Okay.
You open Paint, you click the Cocreator button, it's just sitting right there in the toolbar.
Okay.
You enter a prompt describing what you want, you hit generate to get your options, and then you just refine it. That's it.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because on the surface, bypassing all that corporate red tape sounds amazing. But I have to play devil's advocate for a second here.
Go for it.
Convenience is great, right? Free is great. But isn't there usually a catch? Free and built in doesn't always mean best in class. We all remember those days of free bundled software that barely even functioned.
This raises an important question. And honestly, it is the exact reason Len Kaplan designed a stress test for these platforms. Lowering the barrier to entry is fantastic for, say, quick internal materials.
Right, sure.
But we can't grade this tool on a curve just because it's convenient. To see if it's actually valuable for a business, we have to measure it against the heavyweights of the AI world.
Which is exactly why Len ran a super specific and honestly really demanding test. The prompt he used wasn't just draw a picture of a dog.
No, it was a complex logic puzzle.
Exactly. Here is the exact prompt Len used. He asked for a photorealistic 16:9 wide format, high-resolution image of an android dressed like a 19th century French artist.
Which is already a lot to process.
Right. But here is the real stress test. This android needs to be painting with one hand and taking photographs with the other hand. Yeah. And on top of all that, the entire image is supposed to have a happy, creative mood.
That prompt is brilliantly devious. It forces the AI to juggle all these conflicting concepts, the mechanical nature of an android with the fluid, historical vibe of a Parisian artist.
It's a lot of spatial logic.
Exactly. Explicitly telling it what each hand is doing forces the model to understand humanoid anatomy, object interaction, and composition all at once.
So let's look at the results from the external paid platforms first. Starting with Google Gemini. Len specifically notes they used the Nano Banana model for this. And I just have to say, Nano Banana sounds like a cartoon character, not an enterprise AI.
Yeah, the tech industry loves its eccentric names, but the nano designation actually means something. It's a highly optimized model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's designed to deliver high quality without needing the massive processing power of a flagship model. It's basically Google showing off how much polish they can squeeze out of a leaner algorithm.
What it totally delivered. The Gemini output is stunning. Looking at the post, it produced the most polished overall result.
Absolutely.
The lighting is perfectly balanced so you don't get that harsh, artificial glare. And the textures are so natural you can almost feel the cold metal of the android mixed with the woven fabric of its clothes.
And beyond just looking good, it nailed the semantic understanding. It captured that happy, creative mood perfectly through the color grading.
It was so good, Len actually made it the hero image for the blog post.
Which tells you a lot. It really hit the pinnacle of what the prompt asked for.
It sets a massive bar. So then we look at the other heavyweight ChatGPT, using the DALL model. And DALL took a slightly different approach, but it was just as compelling.
Yeah, DALL is known for visual storytelling. While Gemini gave us perfect realism, DALL built this incredibly vibrant, bustling Paris scene.
With the Eiffel Tower in the background.
Right, it bathed everything in lively colors and gave the whole composition this dynamic energy.
You look at it, and you immediately feel a story unfolding. So the paid giants definitely knocked it out of the park. Now for the moment of truth. How did the free, built-in challenger, Windows Paint Cocreator, handle this puzzle?
Well, objectively, it was respectable.
Okay.
It fundamentally understood the main concept. It gave us an Android artist. The scene was recognizable. Honestly, if you just needed a quick placeholder for an internal slide deck, it was perfectly usable.
Right, especially when you remember it's completely free and takes zero effort to open. But there's a glaring flaw in the image.
Yes, there is.
And it's such a specific detail that really shows how these models think. Co-creator struggled massively with the hands, specifically the hand that was supposed to be taking the photograph.
The spatial logic just completely deteriorated there.
Yeah, you can see it in the post. Instead of the Android naturally gripping a camera, it generated a camera that looked like a detached extra object.
Right, it was just awkwardly floating.
Exactly. It was disconnected from the act of actually taking a photo. Compared to DALL and Gemini, it just felt a lot less coherent.
What's fascinating here is understanding why Co-Creator failed that specific part. It really comes down to how different tiers of models process language.
How so?
Well, an advanced model like DALL has the power to map out three-dimensional spatial relationships before it even renders pixels. It understands the physics of a hand wrapping around a camera.
So it understands the how and where, not just the what.
Precisely. But Co-Creator, being a more lightweight tool, often treats a complex prompt like a bag of isolated keywords.
Ah, I see.
It saw Android, painting, and camera. It generated all those things and threw them on the canvas. But it lacked the deep reasoning to stitch them together into a physically plausible action.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though.
Yeah.
Len didn't just give up on the image. Because Co-Creator generated that awkward camera, he used it as an excuse to test another built-in feature.
Right, the smart object remover.
Yeah. Paint now has this built-in eraser. You just highlight an unwanted element, like an awkwardly detached AI camera, and it's supposed to erase it and fill in the background. So he highlights the camera. What happens?
Well, technically it removed the camera, but the execution was pretty rough.
Yeah, it was.
It left these highly visible smudges and background artifacts. You could immediately tell something had been poorly covered up.
It's like using that basic AI is like trying to guess what's behind a parked car by only looking at the bumper. It just makes a wild guess and you get an ugly smudge.
That is an excellent way to describe in-painting, which is the technical term for this. When an AI removes an object, it has to hallucinate a background to fill the void based on the surrounding pixels.
And Paint clearly struggled to hallucinate a good background.
Right, because it's optimized for speed. It only looks at the pixels right next to the erased object and essentially smears them across the gap.
Wow.
It doesn't have the pattern recognition to continue the complex textures of the Parisian background.
Which is why Len took that exact same image and ran it through a dedicated third-party AI editing tool called InPixio.
And the contrast is staggering.
It really is. InPixio delivered a much cleaner reconstruction. The background was natural, the textures lined up, and you practically couldn't tell anything had been removed.
Because the third-party tool uses a much more robust algorithm. It analyzes the entire image, understands the depth of field, and rebuilds the missing area to match the whole context. not just the nearby pixels.
It totally reminds me of a medical analogy. Using Paint's object remover is like trying to do surgery with a pocket knife.
Right.
Sure, it's a blade, it's in your pocket, and in a dire emergency, it might work. But the third-party tool, in Pixio, is like a specialized laser-guided scalpel. It's engineered for precision.
That reinforces the main lesson here. Built-in tools are great in a pinch, but they aren't a replacement for specialized platforms when you need polished, professional results.
So what does this all mean? If you're a busy small business owner and we just established these free tools can be a bit smudgy and awkward, why do they still matter to you?
Because in daily business, you rarely need absolute perfection. Len highlights some great practical uses for Cocreator.
Like what?
Think about quick blog illustrations or generating graphics for a routine weekly presentation.
Or visual aids for an internal training manual.
Exactly. In those cases, good and fast is way more valuable than flawless but expensive. You can use it for concept mock-ups without spending budget on a designer.
Bypassing the whole procurement process is huge. You don't have to add another subscription or log in for your team. But that also creates a management challenge, doesn't it?
It does. If we connect this to the bigger picture, organizations are absolutely drowning in AI options right now. Everyone is bolting an AI button onto their software.
It feels like a tidal wave of shadow IT just waiting to happen. Employees are going to find these free tools and use them to work faster.
And that is a massive vulnerability. If they don't have an approved tool, they'll upload proprietary company data into random, unvetted AI generators online.
Yikes.
Yeah, that data can be used to train public models. It's a severe security breach.
Which is actually a really strong argument for using the built-in tools. If Paint Cocreator is already inside your secured Windows environment, it's a much safer sandbox for your team, right?
Exactly. And navigating that balance between cost, utility, and security is exactly where CDML comes in. They don't just fix broken computers, they help businesses figure out this exact kind of chaos.
They help you find all those hidden sport mode buttons you're already paying for.
Right. They audit your systems, see what's already there, and establish governance. They help you decide when the built-in pocket knife is enough and when you actually need to buy the surgical scalpel.
It's all about intentionality. You don't want to pay for a third-party app if the free version works for what you need, but you also can't publish a marketing brochure with a smudged AI image.
CDML ensures your AI strategy is secure and actually drives efficiency.
So if you're listening to this and realizing you might be suffering from subscription fatigue, or you just want help evaluating your AI stack, reach out to CDML.
Highly recommend it.
And definitely visit cdml.com to subscribe to their blog. It's a fantastic resource. Plus, a quick reminder, new blog posts drop every Tuesday and Thursday.
Well, to wrap up our deep dive today, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Let's hear it.
Look at the software your business uses every single day. How many powerful built-in AI tools are currently sitting idle on your machines while you're paying a monthly subscription for a third-party app to do the exact same thing?
That is a very provocative thought and definitely worth looking into this week. If you found this quick deep dive helpful, please click that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. We're Jemmy and Nye. Thanks for listening. Till next time.